Hey guys, Camfree15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Masamune episode review for you guys, as I'm talking about last week's episode, which was, I think, episode, as I'm looking, as I am just double checking, episode 7 and 6, because I missed episode 6, don't know why that happened, but whatever. Episode 6 and 7. So that was, the last two episodes were very interesting within itself. For episode 6 kind of covers, like, I guess the first few days of Aki and Masamune dating, to the point you get left off on that cliffhanger where she eventually finds his notebook about, you know, getting revenge on her. And then episode 7, which was today's episode, pretty much talked about Neko and her kind of storyline in this whole revolving round, where we kind of get a backstory of, like, oh, well, how she knows Masamune from way back when he was a kid, and pretty much now we get the reason why she likes him. So yes, anyways, episode 6, like I said, kind of contained the first few days dating stages of Aki and Masamune, like, dating, and, you know, obviously we're left off with the cliffhanger from 2 weeks ago, where, Yoshino was like, we gotta stop, you know, meeting up and things like that, because we can't be like this anymore. And it pretty much leads into the whole thing, like, well, her birthday's coming up, so hopefully you do the right thing, because it is her birthday. And that's pretty much on the day of, like, Christmas Eve, which is like, oh, okay, so in a way you kind of get like a Christmas Eve typical, like, romance episode, where obviously the boyfriend and the girlfriend in an anime series, they just start going out on Christmas Eve, or they have a day to themselves on Christmas Eve. And pretty much, you just have it to where Aki and Masamune, they do all these things together, albeit you get some funny banter between the both, and the day doesn't exactly go as planned. Like, I think they were going to go to, like, this one area, this one food restaurant where they have, like, some of the best pancakes in the world, or something like that, or some of the best pancakes in, you know, the city, or whatever, and for some odd reason, oh, fire just, boom. I don't know what the hell happened, but, you know, again, it's been a week's time, but I do remember, like, there was, like the building got caught on fire and something. I'm like, oh yeah, just by coincidence, the building is on fire. All right, sure, cool, wonderful. So anyways, that leads into the whole factor of, oh, well, Masamune is like, well, we can go to my place, and obviously, typically when you get these romance shows where, you know, you see in hell, we even got in this week's episode where frickin' Masamune went over to Neko's place, but the thing is, so the thing is, what happens, is pretty much, they go over to Masamune's place, but he's expecting his sister and his mom to be there. Obviously we know the dad is out of the place because he's doing work and everything, but we end up finding out, like, we end up knowing from the start of the episode that the sister tried to tell Masamune, hey, we're going to the hot springs, but Masamune wasn't hearing about it and everything. So then once they get home, he's calling around and he sees his note, like, oh yeah, we went to the hot spring, and he's like, oh, are you serious? So pretty much it's Aki and Masamune alone, and typically you get those in these romance shows, you sometimes get those moments to where, oh, it's a tense scene and the parents are not home for the two main characters, and it ends up leading to a scene to where it looks like they're gonna set up a, I guess you can say, sex, you know, scene where it looks like maybe it might lead into these characters doing it, like, right then and there, maybe having a one night type of thing, or they just tease it and then they go around it and it just leads to them both getting flustered and like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. They kind of leave it that kind of direction. They go that direction in a way, you know, where, and eventually Masamune, he gets kind of flustered, over something. I forgot. Again, it's been a week. He ends up going to use the restroom or something because I think he has like something in terms of like indigestion or whatever. And the thing is, Aki was texting him. Luckily, he brought his phone with him to say, because she was worried about him and everything. And then next thing you know, his jacket is there. He asks, Aki to bring his jacket up or something. And sadly but surely, the jacket contained obviously it obviously contained the what is it? The notebook. And while he's not there doing what he's doing, Aki sees the notebook and she's wondering, and she sees the writing and the fact like, oh, I'm gonna get revenge on Aki Aragaki. And then she goes home to end the episode off wondering if like Masamune truly likes her, or loves her, I guess you could say, and she's kind of contemplating that. Also too, in this episode, if I remember correctly, there was a part where Masamune pretty much kind of told Aki, or asked Aki like, can't she accept the Masamune who he is now? The Masamune, which he's saying the Masamune that is skinny and everything now, the one that has made this change, because he pretty much explains like, listen, I'm different than what I used to be. I'm not somebody that likes to eat a lot of sweets and, get fatted up. Do you like me for who I am right now? Like, this isn't, pretty much telling her like, isn't a sustainable relationship if you're preferring me wanting to be a fat kid instead of just liking me for who I am. And that's kind of how relationships should be anyways. You should like the person whether they're fat, or skinny, or muscular, or not muscular. If you're in love with somebody, it doesn't matter based on the freaking body structure of how the look is. It should be just based, and I live by this, it's usually based on the personality, how good the person is, and do they appreciate you. Like, personally, that's what I see in people. Like, I would like somebody, obviously the body can be a plus, yes, but for me, personality is key. I want somebody that has a good personality, they have good morals, they live by a good code, they're willing to go out there and do the right thing. Yeah, will they make a mistake from time to time? Yes, but hey, everybody makes mistakes, and things happen. That's just simple things of talking. But anyways, that kind of leads into that. So we're left on that cliffhanger side of things. Like, okay, she's now aware of the revenge thing. She's now aware that Masamune wanted revenge on her. And that was kind of the thing too that Masamune was struggling. Like, you figure that this could be a plot point where him not telling her while they were dating would get brought up, and then maybe it leads into a little angle where they have that typical romance anime portion where they're obviously apart from each other because in a way they're kind of fighting, but they really haven't talked about it. So this leads into episode 7, where it seems like Masamune and Aki haven't seen each other really since that day, that Christmas Eve day, and they really haven't been talking. Now, Masamune also talks about feeling weird and everything, and he ends up going to the doctor. And the doctor pretty much tells him, like, oh yeah, you're kind of stressed out, because he has, like, these, like, bumps on his skin and everything. And the doctor pretty much is like, yeah, you're just stressed out, it's just a growing thing. Which, personally, yeah, it could be stress. I think it's the fact that he's maybe a little bit afraid / nervous of, like, okay, what the hell is going on with Aki? Maybe unsure about this relationship with Aki. But then again, maybe not feeling confident in himself, like, maybe Aki doesn't like me or something. Like, maybe I'm not ready for this. Not having enough confidence in himself. And Aki's kind of just like, she's barely in the episode, but, it's kind of the whole thing of where she's just kind of wondering, like, oh, I wonder if he's alright or something. Like, she does text him at the end of the episode, like, hey, I heard you went to the doctor, are you alright or something? But he doesn't respond with a text or anything. So, yeah, that's kind of on that point, but this week's episode was kind of revolved around Neko, which, yes, I got her name right this time. The second our third love interest in this series, because obviously it seems like the main love interests are Aki, Yoshino. I guess you can put Yoshino in the bubble to an extent, but I think it's in some cases it's somewhat clear or obvious, especially with how we end the episode where she kind of squeezes her fist down a little bit more. It's kind of like a reaction of like, why is he here? Or something like, maybe she might be flustered too. And obviously Neko. We know Neko from season 1. She was mildly into Masamune. And we never understood why she was into Masamune. Well, now we get kind of this aspect, or we finally get a backstory, the revelation of why she's into Masamune. And we find out that she was apparently at this party when way back in the past when Masamune was there too. It's the same party. I don't know. I don't know if it was a different party or it's the same party. I don't know. And I'm talking about like the same party that Gaso went to and he ran into Aki. Probably a different party. Don't know. Anyways, actually, it probably would have been the same party, because if Aki didn't see Gaso there. It was only Aki's parents, and Aki's parents confused Gaso for Masamune. But anyways, she was there attending like a family member's wedding or something like that, and pretty much she came across Masamune. Masamune's mother came across her parents, and pretty much that's how they got introduced. And even though Masamune stupidly, like as a kid, was like, "You want a chicken wing?" and it's like he pulled his chicken wing out of his damn pocket. And I'm like, that is absolutely disgusting. One, how did that huge ass chicken wing fit in his damn pockets, in his suit pockets? Second, how is his suit pocket not all damn oily and messed up and everything? But alright, sure, cool, fine, whatever. That's what I find hilarious in this whole situation and everything. So I'm just like, alright. And pretty much because of this whole moment from the past, she's taken a liking to him. And she brings up the whole thing in the present, like, because she ends up actually going to the doctor herself. Now, we don't know why she goes to the doctor, or unless I missed that. So she might have some sort of condition that's affecting her too. But we already know Masamune, he went to the doctor early in the episode because he's apparently got stress over this whole Aki situation, and he can't make his mind up. So he ends up running into, and this is also another episode where it's like your typical New Year's Shrine Day episode. She joins the group that he's in. They actually asked Masamune, the little group of friends he's with, if Aki wants to join, but because Masamune is kind of unsure about Aki and everything and this whole stress illness he's going through, he's like, she's kind of busy. So Neko ends up joining them and everything. So eventually it leads into a scene after Neko sees like the doctor's office or something. Masamune sees her and he's like, she's like, hey, you want to come over to my place? So they go over to her place and they're kind of just chillaxing, drinking some coffee or something. And then that's kind of when Neko kind of looks to make her move. Like, it's this whole thing of like, well, he's in my house and I don't know what's going on between him and Aki, so let me see if I can pry him away from Aki. And pretty much she kind of says, like, in a layman's term, like, the reason why you're feeling the way you feel and the reason why you feel all awkward and weird is because, well, you're not truly in love with Aki. Your feelings for Aki aren't really something like romantic about her. You've grown so accustomed to trying to do this revenge plot line that now that you kind of finally found out the truth about what you needed to find out, there's no need to frickin' get revenge on her. You're pretty much you have a lost purpose. So you're just dating her just to date her now. You're really not dating her because, oh, I have feelings for her and you're in love with her. You're just dating her just because, oh, you found out a revelation, you told her the truth, and now she's like hooked up with you. So yeah, and that's kind of the thing, I think Neko kind of makes a good point about that, of the fact, like, well, from my eyes, it's just looking like you're just with her just to be with her right now. You don't really, you're not with her because you actually have feelings for her, because throughout all the years, you've just been built up of getting revenge on Aki. You really, truly never did this out of love for Aki. So Neko, she kind of makes the move, and she's like, well, you know, if that's the case, then why don't you settle for somebody else? Pretty much referring to her, saying like, you know, why don't you just come be with somebody that actually will love you back, and you can actually have feelings for, you know. And it leads into a whole scene where it looks like the two are about to actually kiss on the lips and everything. Like, she's getting closer and everything, but obviously Neko's like maid, I guess, is like, oh, don't you dare do that or something, because early in the episode she was like, you better not do something funny with frickin' Master Neko. So it kind of leads into that whole scene, and Neko's like, it's not what you think and everything, and blah 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 blah. But clearly it goes to show you that Neko is truly, she is in love with Masamune, and she's trying to pry Masamune away from Aki. Eventually Masamune leaves. That's when he gets the text from Aki, like, hey, I heard you went to the doctor, are you alright or something? And he can't figure out his feelings, and he's like struggling to understand what the hell is going on. He screams out on this bridge, and then he hears somebody fall, and it's Yoshino falling, or fell down on the ground as he goes up. And again, like, as I was saying earlier, yeah, she falls down. She's shocked that it's him. She squeezes her hand, so I don't know if like it's a sign of like she's mad that, oh, what did you do? Did you piss? You know, you pissed off Aki or something. Or is it something like, oh, I don't want to see you at this moment because I secretly might have feelings for you. And maybe, and again, like I said back 2 weeks ago, maybe a reason why, I don't remember. Maybe a reason why she forced him away is because maybe she does like Masamune herself, and she's just jealous that, okay, Aki's dating this guy that I like. Again, another thing that Aki took away from me, you know, that I want, pretty much. So that could be the situation there. Who knows? But solid last 2 episodes. Very interesting. It seems like they're dragging this drama point out and everything. You know, clearly they had to come up with something. Otherwise, the season would have ended literally 2 episodes ago, because it's like, okay, Masamune got the girl finally. So they got to find something. And typically with these romance shows, it's kind of stupid where the plot lines go and they draw in terms of drawing things out, and they're just doing it for more intense drama. Like this episode, for example, this week was just to flesh out Neko's backstory and further explain, okay, why she likes Masamune, and also again creating that tension and that drama of like, okay, is Masamune gonna choose Neko now? Is he gonna make a different decision on Aki? Now Neko, now it seems like we might be going into is Masamune gonna choose Yoshino potentially? Well, I don't know. Clearly this guy has 3 love interests who all like him for who he is. Well, right now Aki technically doesn't like him for who he is, because she's kind of in the bubble now, knowing like, okay, this guy wanted revenge on me. What the hell does that mean? So we'll see. We will see where it goes. But that's it. Again, apologize for getting this episode review out later than usual, but I was busy and I was too lazy this weekend to do episode reviews. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys liked the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, as well as the subscribe button if you want to get more Masamune content or any other anime episode reviews. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Peace.